Good morning. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. It's time now for our WTIM Pana Morning Show with Pana civic, business, and nonprofit leaders coming to you from our Taylorville studios. The WTIM Pana Morning Show, it's brought to you by our title sponsor and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with your Pana Save-A-Lot, Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Ridings Pana, the Nokomis Dairy Queen Pana Bowl, and the Oconee Chop Shop. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman, and our guest in this segment is Melissa Miller. And Melissa is the president of the Pana Pride organization. Melissa, good morning to you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you this morning?
Doing well on this end. And Melissa, you've got a couple of events coming up. But first, if you don't mind, I'd just like to recap how the dumpster days went for you, this last go around of it, and just kind of the success of it. How many folks maybe dropped off as much as they could, and just kind of how that dumpster days went for you.
Sure. Yeah, we just had dumpster days was held again last month. It was on the 18th. It was pretty good for being the second one of the year. We had a lot of people show up with stuff, and we didn't fill the dumpsters as we normally do in the spring, but we got quite a bit of stuff brought in. Well, so that went really well.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. You obviously, spring cleaning gets, maybe a touch more love than the fall pickup, just making sure that you're ready for the winter months. But I am glad to hear that it went well, and especially that you were able to offer a second one over the year, just because I think those dumpster days are certainly, if you're all about kind of keeping the yards clean and doing yard of the month and those things like that, keeping Pana as beautiful as possible, I think dumpster days are a good way of doing so. Just wanted to hear a quick recap of that, Melissa, before we get into some of our upcoming events, and one of which is coming up on November 8th. What is going on with the November 8th date for Pana Pride, and just what you got going on?
On November 8th, we're hosting the Pana Market, which is a vendor affair. It'll be at the high school from 9 to 1. We've got 51 local vendors signed up to be there to sell their goods. Joni's Express will be there from 11 to 1, set up to sell food as well. So we have quite a few vendors. It's a pretty big event. We've hosted this the last couple of years, and it's a good time to start your Christmas shopping for sure.
Sure. Okay. So you said from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Was that correct?
Yep.
And that's at the Pana High School. So is that inside the building? Is it just outside of it? What does that look like?
It'll be inside. Yep. It's inside the gym.
Inside the gym. Not a bad deal there. Is that something you guys have been doing for the last couple of years, having it inside? Or is that something that maybe we started the first year or two and we went, yeah, let's get it indoors?
No, we've always held it inside. Yeah, it's been a couple of years now. I'm not sure how many off the top of my head. At least 3 or 4.
Okay. Can you tell me, in terms of, you mentioned 51 vendors will be present. How does that kind of rank among other years? Is that something that continues to grow over the years? What can you tell me about Pana Market? Just a little background on it as we make our way into this year's event.
Sure. Yeah, we usually have quite a bit of vendors. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, comparison to the 51, but that's about average. It's a pretty big event. We've had a couple people that had to drop out, I believe, this time around. So we had a few more, but we're down to 51, but 51 is still a lot of vendors. Yeah. So there'll be a lot of variety there, anywhere from, crafts, baked goods, small businesses selling, different things. So there's a lot of variety. And like I said, I believe they still got people signing up. So it's not even a done number, I don't believe.
Okay. Well, that's a good deal to hear. And you mentioned kind of maybe getting a jump start on that Christmas shopping as well, and find yourself a unique little gift during that Pana Market. So basically a vendor fair that's going on November 8th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. inside Pana High School with 51 plus vendors and hopefully counting as well. Anything else you can tell us about that Pana Market, Melissa, as it is just around the corner?
No, just come out and be ready to shop and get started on your Christmas.
Okay. And real quick, if there's anybody that say, we throw a story out or they're listening right now that might be interested, what's the best way to sign up for the vendor fair with just as little time to go as there is?
They can contact us at our website, or they can, on Facebook, grab us. They can email us at panapride2015@gmail.com.
Okay. And what is the fee for a booth, I guess? What would that cost me to actually set up, or is there a cost to set up?
There is a fee. I want to say it's $75 but don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. But either way, fairly reasonable at that price. $75 for a vendor fair with already 50 plus vendors, and you're inside. Doesn't sound like a bad deal to me. So, again, coming up November 8th, the Pana Market with 51 plus vendors and hopefully counting from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. inside of Pana High School. Well, for you guys, it doesn't stop there in terms of events here in November. You mentioned to me just a week later, we'll have another. What's going on November 15th?
So on November 15th, we have our mother-son event. It's kind of similar to the daddy-daughter dance, only it's a mother-son. We're going to have music. There'll be games, food, activities. It will be held again on the 15th from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Pana Christian Church. It's $30 for a mother and one son and $10 for additional sons. Tickets can be purchased from any member of Pana Pride. You can email us at that same email address. They can call me or text me. My number is 217-827-4288. They can also buy tickets at the door that night.
Okay. So with that being the case from 6:30 to 8:30, is that something that I should go ahead and have dinner before I come, or is that something where we'll be serving dinner, or at least little snacks and goodies?
We're going to have snacks, but I would say if you're usually eat early, you probably want to eat before you come. We'll have, I believe, cookies and different things like that, and drinks like lemonade, tea, water, that kind of thing, but no actual big meal.
Okay.
This is the first one of these we're hosting, so it's there may be some things we're going to want to tweak for the future ones, but we're playing it pretty close for daddy-daughter dance, and that's usually what we do with it, and it works out pretty good.
Well, and I remember we've talked about it a little bit, maybe not as much detail as we're talking about here today, but with that mother and son night being the first of its go around, or its first time being implemented, for you guys, what kind of spurred this? Was it just like, hey, daddy-daughter dance, and that's kind of always the focus? Where's the mother and son kind of deal? Or how did this really come about for you?
Over the last year or two, we've had several individuals, moms who've just said, hey, I wish you did something for the moms, or I wish, we could do something with the boys. And we've got several moms in the group that have sons and who had said, that'd be fun to do something with the boys. And so we've toyed with it for a year or two and just finally decided to jump on it and see what we could do with it.
Yeah, sure. So with the mother and son night, do you have an idea of some of the maybe events or activities that'll be going on in between that you can kind of share with us a little bit about?
Well, I know there's going to be music and dancing, of course. They've got some games they're going to play. I'm not sure if they've got those ironed out. They had not the last time I met with them. There's going to be a photo op. There'll be a place for pictures. I know they're doing something with like Nerf guns. There's going to be a room with targets to set up to go in there and do. I think there's going to be some craft things even for them to maybe work on as well.
Okay. I like the sound of that. So keeping them busy from 6:30 to 8:30 on November 15th. Where again was that mother and son night going to be held?
And that's going to be at the Pana Christian Church.
Pana Christian
Church. On 6th Street in Pana.
On 6th Street in Pana. And you mentioned it was $30 for the ticket and then $10 for every additional son?
Correct.
Okay. Just want to make sure that I'm on the same page with you here. So at Pana Christian Church from 6:30 to 8:30, November 15th, the first of its kind for the Pana Pride organization, a mother and son night that evening as well. Definitely interested in that just because you don't hear about that a whole lot, getting the mom and son together. So definitely like that. One thing you mentioned there, though, it was kind of moms in the community that kind of helped spur this along a little bit and kind of threw their input in and said they'd like something along those lines. What's that mean to you as the Pana Pride organization to be able to, kind of take what the community is telling you, but then also deliver on something new? I'm sure that's got to be a pretty good feeling for you in the organization as a whole.
Oh, for sure. And that's what we're here for. We want to hear the suggestions that everyone has for things they'd like to see or have done. And so it's good that we can take that information, those requests, and bring them to life. And hopefully it's as successful as the daddy-daughter dance has become. So
good. Well,
looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And it's a first of its kind for you guys. So As you mentioned, we might have a couple tweaks or a couple things that we might change, but we got to have the first event to figure those things out. So again, November 15th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Pana Christian Church on 6th Street, Mother and Son Night put on by the Pana Pride Organization. We're joined by Melissa Miller, president of the Pana Pride Organization, here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show, and it's brought to you by the Oconee Chop Shop, Pana Bowl, the Nokomis Dairy Queen, Bob Ridings Pana, Noren's Hardware, Pizza Man, your Pana Save-A-Lot, and by our title sponsor in People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. We'll be right back with Melissa Miller, president of the Pana Pride Organization, when we return on WTIM, your information station.
Does your bank offer rewards on your qualified signature-based debit card purchases? If not, then we need to talk. Hi, my name is Jennifer Mathis with People's Bank and Trust. Join the growing number of our customers who are earning cash back on all qualifying debit card purchases. You already use your debit card. Now make it work for you with Save by Spending rewards from People's Bank and Trust. Earning rewards is as easy as shop, sign, and save. Call 888-PBT-1954 and find out more about our Save by Spending rewards program today. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, Brian at Bob Ridings in Pana here to tell you about our hot buys. We have new Ram trucks and the Hemi is back. All 25 and 26 models come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. I've got one here, Delmonico Red, GT exhaust. It sounds and looks great. We still have the hot buy on the Jeep Compasses starting at $28,990. With over 100 cars on our lot, we have something for everyone. Find us online at bobridingspana.com.
Summer's heating up, and so is your grill. Stop by Oconee Chop Shop, your local USDA butcher shop right off Highway 51 in Oconee, Illinois. We've got premium cuts of beef, pork, and chicken, plus barbecue sauces, cheeses, eggs, sodas, and more. Need custom meat processing? Bring in your own animal, and we'll handle it start to finish. We also do custom deer processing October through January. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 1. Find us on Facebook or at OconeeChopShop.com.
Dinner time just got easier with Pizza Man Pana. Enjoy great food that includes amazing pizza, tasty pasta, salad bar, and chili. On Monday nights, enjoy the spaghetti special with garlic bread and a side salad for $8. On Tuesday nights, come in for the lasagna special with garlic bread and a side salad for $9. On Wednesday nights, grab yourself an individual pizza and side salad for $9. Pizza Man Pana is proud to be serving Pana and the surrounding areas with great Italian food since 1985.
Your Christian County Health Department at 730 North Pawnee, across from Taylorville Junior High School, has both COVID and flu vaccines available, and both high-dose and regular-dose flu vaccines are in stock. Get both the COVID and flu vaccine shots at the same time, and there are a handful of RSV vaccines available. Call the Christian County Health Department now for your appointment at 217-824-4113. That's 824-4113. Your Christian County Health Department is always working for a healthier future.
Double your impact with sight and sound. Reach customers through our 6 regional radio stations. Plus, capture their attention with our 36 by 72-inch digital billboard right on Route 29 in Taylorville. That's nearly 11,000 drivers seeing your message every single day while they're already listening to your radio ads. Ready to maximize your reach? Call your regional radio account manager today and put your business in front of eyes and ears across Central Illinois. Regional radio is where your message gets noticed.
Your information station, WTIM.
And welcome back into the WTIM Pana Morning Show here on your information station. Our WTIM Pana Morning Show with Pana civic, business, and nonprofit leaders comes to you from our Taylorville studios. The WTIM Pana Morning Show, it's brought to you by our title sponsor in People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with your Pana Save-A-Lot, Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Ridings Pana, the Nokomis Dairy Queen, Pana Bowl, and the Oconee Chop Shop. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Our guest in this segment is Melissa Miller, president of the Pana Pride Organization. We talked about 2 upcoming events here in November, the first of which this Saturday, the Pana Market on November 8th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then on November 15th, just a week later, it'll be the Mother and Son Night from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Pana Christian Church. Now we turn our attention to the light display that'll be taking place in Kitchell Park. Melissa, where do you want to take this first? Because I know we need help. I know we're still open to light displays and more, but what can you tell me about just the Pana light display and what you guys are needing?
So yes, we have started this weekend putting up the Christmas lights in Kitchell Park. Hoping to turn those lights on. November 28th is the set day for that at dark that night. We work Saturdays from 8 to 12 and Sundays from 1 to 5. Anyone who would like to come and help, we would love to have extra hands. Just show up. You don't have to stay the whole time. If you Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, you're nothing to do and you want to head out and help for an hour or two, that's great. If you want to come the whole time, that's awesome as well. We recommend you bring gloves to wear, perhaps. If you have wire cutters or post drivers, that's fine too. We have some of those that we can help supply as well. But everyone is appreciated. It's appreciated by anyone who wants to help. We appreciate any of the help we can get. Let's see, I think Saturday and Sunday both, we had 7 people total putting up displays. So the more people we have, the faster we can get those up. We've got several hundred displays. We've had several new ones come in already this year. We bought a couple ourselves, Paint of Pride did. We have had a couple classes donate some displays. If anyone wants to donate a display, we take them up until forever. I mean, we can add them, if you order, they come pretty quick. They get delivered. We have 2 sites we recommend. I'll get that information out, but they get delivered usually in a couple days. And even if they get delivered after we've turned the lights on November 28th, we have in the past, just if something comes in after that date, we just go out and add it to the group. So lots and lots of hands make for quick work. So if you're driving through the park, you should start seeing some out there.
Good. Well, and lots of hands can never hurt in this regard either. Something of note there, like the flexibility, I guess, when it comes to the displays. I just kind of felt like, normally you'd think there's got to be a hard cutoff date, but I love that you guys are able to just keep putting them up if you continue to get them. One other thing you mentioned there was we already have hundreds of displays. Do you know roughly what that number is?
I do not know off the top of my head. I can ask while we're talking.
Okay. No problem.
I know there's just several hundred.
Hey, I mean, that's awesome to hear already. And then you mentioned some new folks jumping on as well and doing so. What were those times again to volunteer? You mentioned Saturday and on Sunday as well. I think Sunday you said 1 to 5, but what was the time for Saturday?
Saturdays we do 8 to 12. I think this Saturday, because the weather's supposed to be so nice, I think we may actually work later into the afternoon, and we do that sometimes. It's not required for anyone else to do that. If you want to, that's great. But sometimes if we're on a good flow, we don't want to stop. We just keep on going. So, and it is supposed to be really nice Saturday. It was a little chilly this last weekend, but like I said, we got quite a few displays up.
Good. And things weather-wise are really nice here this week. I don't know what it is about late October that is always kind of seemingly so crappy all of a sudden as of the last couple of years. And then November again, it kind of bumps back up, and we're seeing that again here this year for whatever reason. But with that Paint a Light display, you mentioned obviously, hey, if you're still interested in making a donation of a display or purchasing a display, please do so. What is the best way of doing that?
So you can either contact us, and sometimes it's a good idea to contact us to make sure you're not purchasing something we've already got. We do have a couple double displays, which is totally fine. We make those work. We put them around. We display them so that they sometimes don't know there's 2 of them. But you can give us a shout out through email. Just email our group and just say, hey, I'm thinking about buying a display. Here's the one I'm thinking of. Do you already have this one? Or is there one you need or you recommend, etc.? You can also, if you know someone, like you can message me, text me, if you know someone who's, actively involved with putting the lights up, you can just text them, they'll get the message to us. And then we do have 2 sites that we do recommend to order from that are very good. And one of them has, and I don't know which one it is off the top of my head, but one of the sites currently has, or they did have a 30% off on some of their displays. So some of the displays are on sale, and they both do offer sales, periodically as well. I can give you those 2. ChristmasDoneBright.com. There's no spaces. ChristmasDoneBright.com. And then the other one is ChristmasCottageLights.com. Again, no spaces. Christmas Cottage Lights.
ChristmasCottageLights.com. And then
Yep.
ChristmasDoneBright.com for the two ways of ordering and purchasing those displays. Well, Melissa, we have run out of time, but thank you so much for joining us here today to tell us a little bit about Pana Pride.
All right. Thank you, Grayson. Have a great day.
You too. Melissa Miller, president of the Pana Pride organization, joining us here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show here on your information station.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville. 96.1 FM Taylorville. 107.5 FM Shelbyville. 107.9 FM Pena Nokomis.
In Virginia, where they're choosing governors, and in New York City, there's a closely watched mayoral race. President Trump, who says he is no fan of independent mayoral candidate Andrew Cuomo, has endorsed the former governor, adding the Democrat